Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Eric Parker with One Number, and in this week's Tableau tutorial, I just want to share a quick trick with you that I use to keep Superstore data up to date for examples and tests that I'm running. So first of all, let's just circle off on what is Superstore data. So Superstore is one of the primary data sets that Tableau uses for their classes, for examples on their website, and as a result, a lot of the examples that you will see on blogs and videos is based on Superstore data. Think about it like a superstore like Sears or something like that, where they sell furniture and office supplies and computers and all sorts of things. So something you may not know is that you actually probably have Superstore data already. When you download Tableau Desktop, it downloads a folder with a couple practice data sets. So this is my own file path, how to get there. Of course, your first few areas may be a little bit different than mine, but if you go to your documents folder, my Tableau repository, data sources, whatever your version of Tableau is, keep going through the folders, eventually you'll get to an Excel file called sample Superstore. So one of the potential problems with Superstore data is that it's usually up to date through, the last year. So that means with the data set that I'm working with, the last day is December 30th, 2021. But today is actually February 23rd, 2022. So if I'm ever doing some practicing and I want to say, how do my week to date values compare to my last week to date or anything like that, I need up-to-date data. So one trick and one calculation that you can use to always keep your data up to date is by getting the last day of the data set to line up with today's date. So shout out to my friend and colleague Oliver Lindley for originating this idea, which I'm now putting in a video. So I'm going to create a calculated field and I will just call it date. And what I want Tableau to do is, first of all, I need to figure out what is the difference in days between the last date and the data set and today's date. So I would say DATEDIFF. The date part is going to be day. The start date would be the maximum order date, and we're actually going to wrap it in curly braces so that Tableau considers it to be a not aggregated field, and then the today function. So for today's date, we got the 31 days of January, the 23 days of February. I think that puts us at about 54 days. So this should come up with the number 54. So what I want to tell Tableau to do is to add this many days, so add days this many to the order date field. So let me just pause there for a moment. I will copy this. I'll put this formula in the chat, and if you're on the blog post, it'll be there as well, or the description, I should say. So let's test this and make sure that this is working. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click and drag this date field to rows, drop the month, day, year of date, and I should see now that the latest date in my data set is now February 23rd, 2022, which is today's date. So that's just a quick trick that you can use to keep your date fields up to date so that, again, if you're using Superstore and you're trying to do some practices and you need data that runs through today's date, then you will always have it with a calculated field like that. So hope that's helpful and look forward to catching you here on the One Number YouTube channel for another video, another tip or trick in Tableau soon.